What is up? What is up? What's good, Washington fans, man? This is game week, man. It's getting real. It's getting real. It's really real. This is game week. What's up, Kenny Man Fitness? Mohammed Kenny Man Fitness. That's my guy. He's an elite channel member. He was on with me in DC Bay last week, man. If you guys missed that stream, make sure you guys check it out. It was on last Tuesday. We had a blast. We had a blast on the stream. Talk with the boss. What's up, man? Said best time of the year to watch football. Hey, I'm excited, man. We're finally getting some football. A lot of people said this wasn't going to happen because of the virus. A lot of people said we weren't going to get a football season. There's going to be no games, nothing. Just cancel the season. And here we are, week one, about to have football. I don't know if we'll finish the season. I'm hoping for the best. You know, there's been some college football games already. I got a good feeling about this season. I think we're going to have a full season. Oscar Ventura, what's up, man? He said they real live downplay the entire defense on NFL Network. Actually, I heard they hyped up the defense. I thought somebody said that we had the best defensive line, or we could have the best defensive line in the NFL. I think that is 100% true. Just have to see it. You know, just got to see the guys do it. You know, we got Chase Young, Ryan Kerrigan, and them boys, the Bama boys. You already know what this defensive line can do. Montez Sweat, all them guys going up against a injured and battered Eagles offensive line. I think they should feast on Carson Wentz. I think we should at least get 3 or 4 sacks against Carson for sure, especially going up against Jason Peters, who was a false start waiting to happen. He's an old man. Didn't even want to play left tackle until he got paid because he knew he wanted to get his money if he had to guard Chase Young. He was like, man, if you want me to guard Chase Young, y'all got to give me a pay raise, you know? So that's how it's going to go. That's how you're going to know. And he has to guard Ryan Kerrigan. That rotation of defensive ends is going to be real nasty. It's going to be a long day for that Eagles banged up offensive line. Dor Gunner, what's up, man? He's a channel member. Shout out to him. 1,000 subs and no videos. What's going up, man? What's going on, man? Gavin Burns, what's up, man? Thomas Rice, what's up, man? I see him with the new Chase Young picture. What's going on, man? Valora Watts, what's up, man? So, yeah, I see he says contain Ertz and DeSean Jackson. What's up, Dor Gunner? What's up, man? Lane Johnson might play. I did hear about Ambell Ambrosio. Yes, sir. He's another channel member. What's up, Abel? 4 more days. 4 more days. I can't wait, man. Like I said, I want Saturday to fly. And I love my weekends. But I just need Saturday to fly. I need the rest of this week to fly by until Sunday. And once again, I will be at Proper 21. It's a bar. Shout out to Burgundy and Gold fan all day. He put in reservations for 11:30 a.m. So I will try to get down there at 12. It's on F Street in downtown DC, Northwest DC. So make sure you guys show up there if you can. We're going to make it as safe as possible. Social distancing, 6 feet, masks, all that stuff. As safe as possible, man. What's up, guys? What's up, Rock, man? What's going on, man? The Connor Nation, what's going on, man? What will win a fight, an Eagle or a football team? You're a funny guy. So, yeah, Valor Watts said contain Ertz and DeSean Jackson. So I don't want to say my keys to victory, but it's hard not to say my keys to victory. But basically, we know the Eagles are battered. And I had us beating the Eagles before all these injuries. And I don't want to hear any excuses from the Eagles when we do beat them week one. Yes, Connor Nation, Dwayne Haskins is a captain. I do want to talk about that as well. I'm not going to say I was surprised that he's named the captain, but I'm happy to hear it. I wasn't expecting it because, you know, this is his second year in the league. And, you know, Dwayne Haskins, you know, he has a lot to prove. And he's really proven a lot of people wrong already. Now, he beat out Kyle Allen in camp. A lot of people, there was a lot of haters and naysayers like D'Angelo Hall, Peter King. A lot of people said Kyle Allen was going to beat out Dwayne Haskins, but Dwayne Haskins proved them wrong. He is the starting quarterback. He's been a great leader. He's been leading the troops, getting the guys in the huddle. Oh, I see some Eagles fans in here. I already see y'all. But like I said, the Eagles are decimated, man. They're decimated. And like I said, I thought we were going to beat the Eagles before all the injuries happened. You know, I don't like their receiving core. I really don't. I think their receiving core is probably bottom 5 in the league. And I know our receiving core is really bad on paper too. But I think, you know, we can really contain the receivers. Now, they do have Zach Ertz, like you said, Valor. They do have Zach Ertz, and they do have DeSean Jackson. They do have Dallas Goedert. They do have those guys. They do have a few weapons. But J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, he's on his way to being a bust. He's almost another Nelson Aguilar. Jalen Reagor might play on Sunday, but he hasn't done, I thought he was the wrong draft pick for the Eagles, honestly. I thought he was the wrong pick for the Eagles. I thought the Eagles should have went with Justin Jefferson. I think the Eagles, they botched their draft this year in many ways, getting Jalen Hurts. You know, them getting Jalen Hurts shows that they don't believe that Carson Wentz can stay healthy. Who knows if wheelchair Wentz is going to stay upright in this game. Chase Young might hit him and take him out for the whole game. Ryan Kerrigan, Montez Sweat. Don't let the Bama boys get to you, Matt Ioannidis. Who knows if Carson Wentz is going to stay upright this whole game, as much as injuries as they had. And Carson Wentz already has had a lower body injury, and he's day-to-day. I'm hearing Lane Johnson is banged up. Brandon Brooks out for the season. Andre Dillard out for the season, and Jason Peters, like I said, he wanted that pay raise before he had to guard Chase Young and Ryan Kerrigan. He knew what he was getting into. He's like, if you want me to guard the Predator, if you want me to guard Ryan Kerrigan, I need that pay raise. But we already know Jason Peters is fragile too. He's injury prone. He's old. He's banged up already. We already know. So he might be out there looking like a turntable against Ryan Kerrigan and Chase Young, Ryan Anderson, and them boys. So it could be a long day for that Eagles offensive line. It could get real ugly for them, especially in the interior with no Brandon Brooks. It could get real ugly for the Eagles, man. I'm telling you, if we can get a few sacks on Carson, we already know Carson. He's very fumble prone. He's almost as bad as Danny Fumbles will fumble in football. So we really have to win that turnover battle. I really feel like Carson, he's going to put the ball on the floor. We have to capitalize on their mistakes. When Carson Wentz fumbles the ball, puts the ball on the floor. I remember last year Ryan Anderson slapped it out of his hands. He was being soft with the football, just slapped it out of his hands. I think we just didn't land on the football, and the Eagles recovered, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. We might have picked it up, but I feel like the Eagles got it back or something like that. But we got to capitalize on turnovers. I'm not a fan of their secondaries at all. I love the matchup with Terry McLaurin against Darius Slay. So I like our outside matchups, honestly, on both ends. On both ends, I like our outside matchups. Gavin, I'm not going to make a prediction until the end of the video. Actually, I'm not going to make a prediction of the score really until Friday, because I have a prediction and kind of like a keys to victory video coming out on Friday. So, but Rashad, yeah, we'll talk about team captains real quick. So I'm happy. Dwayne Haskins, of course, Brandon Sheriff, DeShazer Everett, Landon Collins, and then I think it was somebody else who was a team captain. I could be wrong. I can't remember who else was named the team captain. I'm gonna look it up pretty quickly here. But yeah, Dwayne Haskins getting the nod for that was awesome. Oh, Jonathan Allen. So the surprises, guys that did not get named the team captain. Terry McLaurin didn't get named team captain. I was surprised about that. Ryan Kerrigan was not chosen as a team captain. I was pretty surprised. A couple of people were surprised about that. And Tress Way not being named a team captain. A lot of people were surprised about that. I think Tress Way definitely should have been a team captain. Him being the best player on the roster last year, to keep it 100. Tress Way was the best player on the team. He was the only All-Pro or only Pro Bowl player on the team last year. I think it was him and Brandon Sheriff, and as an alternate. And then what's his name? Matt Ioannidis was a Pro Bowl alternate. So Tress Way was the only guy to make the Pro Bowl and be an All-Pro. So I really feel like he should have been a captain as well. But it's a punter, so it's kind of like, I don't want to say who cares, but it's a punter. But Dork Hunter, Ryan Kerrigan definitely should have been a captain. But they actually announced that it was a team vote. His peers, his team voted. The team voted for the guys to be captains. So they voted Dwayne Haskins to be captain. So that's big time. That's huge, man. That speaks volumes to what his teammates think about him, because, and we remember the video last year where Dwayne Haskins was like, what can I do to help you? Or he was talking to the offensive line, and the guys were giggling and laughing in his face and smirking, against the Jets when we're getting blown out. And Haskins was yelling at the offensive line. It was Morgan Moses and some other guy, number 66, Tony Bergstrom, who's not on the team anymore. He was like, what can I do to help you? He was trying to be a leader. It was a weird way trying to be a leader, but he's come a long way since that game. That's all I'm saying. He's come a long way since that Jets game, that Giants game in New York. He's come a long way. You just hear him talking to press conferences. He sounds more humble, more mature. We're not going to see him taking any more selfies. So Dwayne Haskins, it looks like he's growing up very quickly. In NFL, you got to grow quick, man. He's a young guy. I think he's like 22, 23 years old. Played 1 year at Ohio State. Only started 7 games last year. And Ron Rivera really likes Haskins. He really wants him to be the franchise quarterback. So that's great, man. I'm happy to hear that. So that's good news. Dwayne Haskins, yes, Soy Sauce, who was a channel member as well. Shout out to him. He said, at Haskins, we trust. LC says, I'd be cool with Tress Way. Sheriff shouldn't have made the Pro Bowl. Tress Way should have been All-Pro. Yeah, Tress Way definitely should have been All-Pro. I think he was All-Pro, though. I'm not 100% sure, though. Thomas Wright said, "Hey, I'm always watching your channel first and foremost, and yo, bro, I'll see you there at the bar Sunday to watch the game. I'll be there. It's gonna be live, bro. Can't wait to see you there, big bro. Yeah, it's gonna be lit, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Like I said, Prosper 21 is on F Street, man. It's gonna be super lit. It's gonna be live at the bar. Like I said, we'll try to social distance as much as possible. Probably impossible to social distance, to be honest with you. And we're gonna try to be as safe as possible. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be super lit. I'm gonna drink a little something, something. At the bar. It's gonna be a really good time. Go God's son Belton said, will Ronald Darby play well? Yeah, I mean Ronald Darby, he hasn't really talked any trash, but in his interviews, I think somebody asked him, would you rather have an interception on Carson Wentz, or would you rather have something? I forgot what the other question was, but he said he'd rather have an interception on Carson Wentz. And Ronald Darby. The thing is, and I want to talk about the Eagles corners as well. There's a reason why when people go to the Eagles, you look at Nnamdi Asomugha. He goes to the Eagles, he plays like trash. You look at Byron Maxwell from the Seahawks, he goes to the Eagles, he plays like trash. I don't think the Eagles, they're good at coaching up their cornerbacks. And what I'm getting at is I feel like Darius Slay is going to be another victim of being a bust for the Eagles. The Eagles corners, they don't know how to coach him up, man. I feel like Ronald Darby's going to have a good season. Now, is he going to be guarding D Jax? That's going to be a tough matchup. Now he knows D Jax's tendencies. He knows what he wants to do. They were in practice together, so they're gonna try to target against Ronald Darby. Ronald Darby's had a great training camp, and Jack Del Rio's scheme and his coaching is way better than Jim Schwartz for the Eagles. I'll tell you that. That's for sure. And Ronald Darby feels more comfortable in this defensive scheme with Jack Del Rio and Ron Rivera coaching him up, especially with this defensive line. There shouldn't be a lot of time for Carson Wentz to sit in the pocket. So Ronald Darby can attack and be aggressive. Last time, we see corners play really well. James Bradbury played well under Ron Rivera's system. Josh Norman played really well under Ron Rivera's system. So it looks like Ronald Darby should be a really good corner. He could be the Eric Flowers for this team, where Eric Flowers didn't play well for the Giants, and Ronald Darby comes, Eric Flowers comes to the Washington team, and he plays a lot better. So we could revive Ronald Darby's career. I mean, he's got the speed, he's got the instincts. So I think he played really well. We're gonna of course have somebody over the top. Troy Apke looks really good in camp. He's been super fast. So DeSean Jackson is the one guy that we're really, really worried. Of course, we're worried about Zach Ertz and Goddard, but from a wide receiver standpoint, nobody else on that Eagles roster really, really scares you. Like I said, JJ Arcega-Whiteside, he looks like he's going to be a bust. Jalen Reagor might not even play. And Greg Ward, the only reason why he even caught that touchdown was because Josh Norman was guarding him. So, that their wide receiving core is not, they just don't look good to me. And Alshon Jeffrey, man, they already said he runs like he has a piano on his back. He's gotten slower and slower and slower. The Eagles don't even want Alshon Jeffrey. They want to trade Alshon Jeffrey. They weren't going to cut him because it would be a dead cap hit. They're trying to trade Alshon Jeffrey. That's how bad their wide receiving core is. So Eagles definitely have some holes on their roster. I think we definitely can exploit the holes on their roster for sure, man. I'm telling you. Dorgarner said we're going to get a heavy dose of Ertz and Goddard. Yeah, I think so. I mean, their wide receivers aren't much other than DeSean Jackson. They're going to have to use their tight ends. Dion Hamilton is pretty good in coverage. Kevin Pierre-Louis is really fast. He runs sideline to sideline. John Bostic isn't bad either. So we got some speed at the linebacker position. Cole Hogan. So we got some guys that can match up with Ertz and Goddard. King Cali said 4 touchdowns by Dwayne Haskins. I can see that happening. I don't know about 4 touchdowns. I have it be a low scoring game. I think it's going to be a defensive game. It's going to be a defensive struggle. I don't know about 4 touchdowns. I could see 2 touchdowns though. I could definitely see 2 touchdowns from Haskins. I could see a pass to Logan Thomas over the middle for a touchdown. He's been playing well in camp. Him and Logan Thomas have great chemistry. I could definitely see him throwing a touchdown to Logan Thomas. Of course, Terry McLaurin. Nobody on the Eagles can check McLaurin. Nobody in the league can check McLaurin. So Darius Slay, that was barbecue chicken last year for the Lions. Terry McLaurin was cooking Darius Slay in that Lions game. Haskins just has to hit him. You can't overthrow Terry McLaurin. You can't. You just got to hit him in stride. It's not the easiest thing to do because Terry's super fast. But you saw that play in training camp where Terry just burnt Greg Stroman. Greg Stroman tripped him up, and he still caught the touchdown pass. So that I could see something like that definitely happening on Sunday to Darius Slay, Avonte Maddox, or Nickel Roby Coleman. The Eagles had to cut 2 of their corners because they've been so awful. Sidney Douglas and and the other guy, Russell Douglas. They cut 2 corners. Their corners are decimated, man. They just don't have a good cornerback. They don't have a great secondary at all. We can definitely exploit their secondary for sure. Kenny Manfield says they're going to destroy Eagles' offensive line. D Jax better run slants all day. Not time to go deep. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. If Trapke lives up to the hype, man, he can definitely help us out with D Jax, man. I'm telling you. D Jax, Reggie Red said D Jax made out of paper. Yeah, he is. He's a bubble boy too, man. He's made out of glass. D Jax is definitely made out of glass. He's always there for the first game of the season, but the next thing you know, the last 8-10 games, D Jax on injured reserve. You're like, oh, he's gonna come back. He never comes back. He is fragile. You know, we had him in Washington. You know, we would have him for like 10 games. You know, he was good for the 10 games, but we know he wasn't going to play a whole full 16-game season. We knew that was going to happen. He's kind of like a home run hitter. You can't really play him that much because he's only like 100 pounds soaking wet, man. He's like, what, 6 feet, 100 pounds? The guy is skinny as a mug. So, I mean, he has crackhead speed. He's super fast, but you just can't rely. You can't rely on a quarterback. You can't rely on wheelchair Wentz to play a full season. Eagles can't do that, and they can't rely on D Jackson to play a full season. So, but D Jackson, we definitely have to really, really, really watch him this game because he killed us last year. If it wasn't for him, I feel like we would have won that game. If it wasn't for D Jax, we would have won that game because he was their offense last game. Like we actually did a good job on Zach Ertz that first game. We did a good job on Dallas Goedert as well. They really didn't get the run game going with Miles Sanders and Jordan Howard in that first game. And it was just DJ. It was the D Jax show. It was the D Jax show, man. Zion said, "Who's guarding Stevenson? Let alone Terry McLaurin, man. They're gonna get cooked, man. This is barbecue chicken, man. They don't have guys that can really stick with Terry McLaurin. There's too much speed, too much sauce out there, too much speed in Terry McLaurin and Steve Sims, man. They can try to put Avonte Maddox on Steve Sims or Nickel Roby what's his name, Nickel Roby Coleman or whatever." You know, who had the pass interference in the NFC Championship game against the Saints, where the Saints got cheated. That's what he's known for. So Steve Sims should have a feel that he should eat. He should eat against the Eagles. I love the matchup with Terry McLaurin versus Darius Slay. I think Terry McLaurin is gonna have a heck of a game. Yeah, yeah. What's his name? Kenny McFinder said DeSean Jackson got crackhead speed. I'm telling you, he's skinny as a mug. He's like a football crackhead. He's skinny as a mug, runs fast as a. He's got crackhead speed. That's what it is. We really got to watch D Jackson. That's the only guy I'm really, really concerned about on their offense. Like I said, JJ Arthur-Whiteside is about to be a bust. Jalen Reagor was the wrong pick. And Greg Ward can only score in Josh Norman. If it's not for Josh Norman, Greg Ward's not getting that catch. Thank you for the first donation of the night, Door Gunner. Shout out to Door Gunner. That's my guy. He is a channel member. He said, "A drink on me for the victory celebration on Sunday." Yes, sir, man. Hey, you know, I don't know what drink I'm going to get just yet. But once we get the W, man, it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit the whole game. But once we do get that W, man, it's gonna be super lit. Shots, you know, all it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy, man. I don't know. I might just chill, get some rum and coke or something like that. You know, just sip on some rum and coke the whole time. You know, at the bar for real, just chill. You know, but I will be going live. It's gonna be super lit. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I can't wait. Thank you once again for the donation. OKG 2000 said, "Do you think our offensive line will hold up?" That's a good question. That's a good question right there. Offensive line is a concern. You know, Jaron Christian is starting at the left tackle, and you know, Morgan Moses. Sometimes he's a false start waiting to happen. He's a penalty waiting to happen, and sometimes I am concerned about him. You know, he's actually healthy for this game. You know, he hasn't been healthy in the last 2 years, really, honestly. So it is a concern. You know, I like Wes Martin, the left guard. I like him a lot. I think he's pretty good. He shows some potential. He did a really good job against Fletcher Cox last year. Eric Flowers did a good job, but Eric Flowers is gone. But, you know, it just shows you that guys can really step in and mix and match and step up and play well. The Freshman, thank you for becoming a new channel member. Shout out to my guy, The Freshman. Shout out, man. You got a good-looking son, man. You got a good-looking son, man. Shout out to you and your son, man. Thank you for becoming a channel member. I appreciate that. That's big time. And offensive line, once again, offensive line is a concern. It is. Jaron Christian at left tackle. I think this will be his first career start. I may be wrong about that, but this might be his first career start. And he's had some rough season. He has to get his strength up. He's been working. He actually worked out with Trent Williams down in Texas. You know, I don't want to bring up Trent Williams at all, but he's been working out with Trent Williams down in Houston. So he's been getting stronger, getting bigger, getting faster, getting his hands ready, getting his movement ready for the season. A lot of people have said good things about Jaron Christian. He's starting. Sadiq Charles will not be starting. I don't even think Sadiq Charles is going to play on Sunday, to be honest with you. And then Chase Rouillet is solid at the center position. But yeah, like I said, that the left side is concerning. The left side and Morgan Moses. Of course, we can rely on Brandon Sheriff all day. We don't have to question that. Even though Brandon Sheriff had some penalties last year, I think last year was Brandon Sheriff's last. It was his worst year in the NFL last year. But he still played well. He still was a Pro Bowl alternate, and he was solid. He still played pretty well. So we can always be confident in Brandon Sheriff. And their defensive line is pretty good. They got John Hargrave, they got Fletcher Cox. So you got to respect those guys. They got Brandon Graham, Derek Barnett. You got to respect the guys. They're not world beaters on the defensive ends, but you definitely got to respect them. So I will give some respect to the Eagles defensive line. We just got some guys learning like Jaron Christian. Without stuff, with nobody else said Jaron Christian is bad. Wes Martin is good. Chase Reed is good. Brandon Sheriff is good. Morgan Moses. That's how I feel. Our offensive line is a question mark, but their offensive line is a big question mark too. They got their hands full with the Bama boys and Chase Young and Ryan Kerrigan, Montez Sweat, Matt Ioannidis. They got their hands full, man. Jason Peters, man, he's gonna have a long day with them guys. It's gonna be real bad. Lane Johnson's a little banged up too. Like I said, Brandon Brooks is out, so Matt Ioannidis, they should feast on their guards. They really should. That's where we have the advantage with our defensive line over their offensive line. Their offensive line is going to have a long day. We should definitely be able to put some pressure on Carson Wentz. So like I said, Carson Wentz is very fragile. So if you hit him, man, in previous years we let Carson Wentz, make a spin move and get out of the pocket, or we'll get on him. We'll have hands on him, and then he'll break a few tackles, and then he'll just scamper for like a 10, 15-yard run. Of course, that happened on Monday Night Football a couple years ago. We just can't let that happen anymore. We just can't. We cannot let that happen anymore. Nathan Sullivan said 6 sacks on Carson Wentz. I can see that happening. I can definitely see that happening. God's son Bell said how many sacks total in individually. I got Chase getting 1 sack. I got Chase getting his feet wet and getting 1 sack. I got Montez getting a sack. I got my Ioannidis getting a sack, and then I think Landon Collins is going to come up and get a sack too. So I got 4 sacks on Sunday. So those are the guys I got to get sacked. My Ioannidis, Chase Young getting a sack, Montez, and Landon Collins is going to blitz because they really want to use Landon Collins, of course, in the box and all over the field. So I think they're going to have him blitzing this year a little bit more, and I can't wait to see that because he's really fast. He's really good up there in the box. So I got Landon Collins getting a sack on Sunday for sure. Zion said, "Does D-Jackson get those 2 touchdowns on Ronald Darby, Jimmy Moore, and Kendall Fuller?" No, but anybody's gonna score on Josh Norman. Like I said, Greg Ward scored on Josh Norman. Josh Norman was so bad last year. It was just like he was an XFL cornerback. That's how bad he was. He was really bad. Jay Pink, man. We was just talking about crackhead speed. And you got this freaking profile picture. He said, "What's good, Captain? Pick up Antonio Gibson in fantasy football draft." Yeah, you can. I mean, we have a running back by committee. What's up, Rufio? What's up, man? You're gonna be rotating. I'll get back to that comment. We're gonna have a running back by committee. That's what they announced today. Antonio Gibson, J.D. McKissick, Bryce Love, and Peyton Barber made a roster. So those are the 4 running backs. We're gonna run it back by committee. So basically that means we're not gonna have a bell cow running back. We're not gonna have a guy like Adrian Peterson who's gonna have 30, 25 carries. We're gonna spread the wealth. 10 carries a year. Whoever's got the hot hand is going to get it going. If Antonio Gibson has a hot hand, we'll keep feeding him. If McKissick has the hot hand, we'll keep feeding him. Peyton Barber, Bryce Love, etc. Who knows is going to have the hot hand out there. Most likely it will be Antonio Gibson. Antonio Gibson is a rookie, so I understand them starting J.D. McKissick. He's a more experienced veteran. He's been playing well in training camp, and we're going to have 2 running backs out there at the same time. And that a lot of motion. The Air Coryell offense, they're going to be like wide receivers out there. So we are going to have a running back by committee, maybe by week 5, week 6. Rufio, another crackhead. The Dave Chappelle skit. We're talking about crackhead speed. I see, I know you love your picture. But, it's going to be a running back by committee. You look at the Niners. I'm not going to keep comparing this to the 49ers. They had a running back by committee last year with Matt Breida and some other guys. I think, Tevin Coleman was on the Niners last year. A lot of motion, jet sweeps and things like Scott Turner loves doing that. So I can see Steve Sims, rushing a couple times. We did that last year too. So I'm excited to see that Antonio Gibson out of the backfield catching passes. He's like a wide receiver. J.D. McKissic played wide receiver in college, so we're gonna get a lot of guys. It's gonna be the Eagles are gonna be surprised. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a lot of mismatch out there. Their linebacking core is pretty bad. That's one of their weaknesses too. And I think Antonio Gibson definitely can run a nice wheel route and expose them. And get a big chunky yards, a 30-yard pass on a wheel route, break some tackles out of the backfield. I can see a screen pass from them being over aggressive. Antonio Gibson breaks off a screen pass for like 60, 70 yards. Same thing with J.D. McKissic. We can fool him. I feel like we can even do a trick play. Logan Thomas plays quarterback. Do a trick play, have Logan Thomas throw a pass. Anything goes. I feel like we're probably going to go for a fourth down a few times. We have nothing to lose. I feel like we could definitely do that too. Doug Peterson, he likes to go for it on fourth down. I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. And teams are going to have a slow start, because there was no preseason. Some guys are going to be rusty. And the Eagles always start off slow. We were up 17-0. Both games last year, we were winning at the half. 14-10 when it was at FedEx, week 16. We were up 14-10 at the half. We should have beat the Eagles in that game where Dwayne Haskins was Rookie of the Week, had 251 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Eagles. And then we should have been in week 1. We were up 17-0. Case Keenum looked like the second coming of Joe Montana out there, throwing bombs to Terry McLaurin and the pass to Vernon Davis where he ran for like 75 yards. So the Eagles secondary is not good. They've been historically bad for the past few years. So I love our matchup against their secondary. I love it. The freshman says, how many yards do you think Antonio Gibson is going to have? Well, this game, I think he's going to have a few catches for about 60 yards. I think he is going to score a touchdown. I think he's going to have a couple rushes. I think he's going to be in that. I think he's going to have like 65 yards rushing and then 55 yards receiving. He's going to have a touchdown. And then you got to think about J.D. McKissic. He's going to have probably 40 yards rushing and then 50 yards receiving. So I feel like it's going to be in that range. So they're going to spread the wealth. It's going to be like thunder and lightning out there with J.D. McKissic and Antonio Gibson. They're going to be like thunder and lightning out there. They're going to be dual threat running backs. We're going to catch the Eagles by surprise, man. I'm telling you, they don't have guys that can guard both those guys like that, man. Very versatile guys in that Scar Turner and that Eric Coryell offense. So I think Gibson's going to get about, like I said, 65 yards receiving and maybe like 70 yards rushing, something like that. He's going to have a good game. I think he's going to have a good game. J.D. McKissic's going to have a good game. So I can see both of them doing some damage out there. I can see both of those guys doing some damage. Joe Thorne said, can't wait to see Antonio Gibson and J.D. McKissic on the field at the same time. Philly linebackers' heads better be on it. I'm telling you, man, they're gonna be confused, man. Heads gonna be spinning. They don't know what they're gonna do out there, man. It's gonna be a lot of guys in motion, man. They're gonna be confused. The Eagles linebackers are gonna be very confused. Even Antonio Gibson said he was confused during training camp because there was so much stuff they were throwing at him. And they've been trying to keep him a secret, kind of like how McLaurin was somewhat of a secret last year, that third round draft pick. We didn't play McLaurin at all in preseason. We try to keep him under wraps. That's what I'm thinking Antonio Gibson is going to be. Now I got to see it to believe it. I don't believe in the hype until I see these guys play. I wasn't believing in the Terry hype until I saw him play, and I was like, wow, this guy Terry McLaurin is the real deal. So the matchups don't bode well for the Eagles, honestly, at the linebacker position. If we motion out Antonio Gibson into a receiver spot or J.D. McKissic, it will be a long day for the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm telling you, it's going to be a long day. And then you got Scary Terry, you got Terry McLaurin out there, man. Darius Slay, man. Like I said, the Eagles killer. The Eagles killer. Yes, sir, Sergio. The Eagles killer. Terry McLaurin. Shout out to Burgundy and Gold fan all day. He's the guy who's setting up the Proper 21 event, man. It should be a good time on Sunday. It's going to be super, super lit. Make sure you guys sub him up. He's a channel member as well. That's my guy. Cormac Quinn says, how big will the difference between Greg Manusky or Greg Manubsky and Jack Del Rio show? It's going to be huge, man. It's going to be huge. It's going to be like night and day, man. You're just going to see the difference in defensive coordinators, man. The 3-4 and the 4-3 difference. You see Montez Sweat with his hand in the dirt. Ryan Kerrigan's going to have his hand in the dirt. Chase Young, once again, his hand in the dirt. These guys are gonna go crazy, man. It's gonna be like Engage 8 in Madden out there, man. We don't even have to send 8 guys. We can really send our front 4, and they should be able to get to Carson Wentz, in my opinion. We're gonna have guys shuffling in, Matt Ioannidis rotating in. But the big difference is just coaching, man. We're not gonna have the silliness and the miscommunication. Jack Del Rio in his press conference in the offseason before the season even started, he talked about all the miscommunication out there. You know, we saw in game one, you know, you're not going to let D-Jax just run free like that. You know, that was inexcusable. I would have fired Greg Minuski after game one, just letting D-Jax run wild and run free like that. That's something that's inexcusable. You can't let that happen. I don't see Jack Del Rio letting something like that happen. You know, we don't have a slow guy like a Josh Norman on the roster anymore. But Minuski, he was terrible, man. He dropped our pass rushes back in coverage. Yes, I get it. I know Chase Young sometimes will drop back in coverage and Ryan Kerrigan here and there, but he just did it way too much. You gotta send your most talented guys. You gotta put them in places where they can succeed and have them doing the things that they do best, man. You gotta have Chase Young rushing the passer. You don't want to see him dropping back in coverage all the time. You don't want to see Ryan Kerrigan dropping back in coverage all the time. You got to have somebody shadow D-Jax. You got to have another safety over top of D-Jax, man. You got to back up just a little bit. You can't let this guy run by him. So that's going to be the big difference between Greg Minuski and Jack Del Rio. Just the adjustments and the communication on defense. You got to look at stuff like that. You know, you see guys were confused, you know, on that play with D-Jax when he ran by Josh Norman. You know, you look at Jimmy Moreland. Jimmy Moreland didn't know what was going on. I think DRC was out there one time. He didn't know what was going on. Just the miscommunication in the secondary. And then the linebacker play should be a lot better too. You know, John Bostic should be playing better. Kevin Pierre-Louis, Sean Dion Hamilton. He wants speed on that defense and covers guys. So he got it, you know, because we're guarding Zach Ertz. We got to guard Dallas Goedert. So we got to get some speed out there, guys that can keep up with guys like Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert, because they are tough. I'm not gonna fake on those guys. Those are guys we got to worry. The wide receivers, not so much on the Eagles, but the tight ends are something that we do have to definitely got to worry about. Big Fun said if Terry gets doubled all game, Steven Sims will ball out. That's a fact. That's fact. Steve Sims had a good game last year against the Eagles. He had a pretty good game. He had a couple catches, man. The only thing about Steve Sims, you just got to run north-south sometimes. North-south instead of east-west. You know, there was a time where, you know, we were against the Eagles in that second game where we could have beat them and we just needed a first down. We needed a first down. And Steve Sims was kind of dancing around. But we just need him to run north-south, get the first down. You know, you make the first guy miss and just get the first down. None of the dancing around kind of stuff. Take that, man. One of my favorite movies, Don't Be a Menace in the Hood. You're drinking your juice in South Central. I forgot the whole spiel, how it goes. But one of my favorite movies, my man Marlon Wayans, shout out to Take That. He says, all birds must die this season. Eagles, Ravens, Seahawks, Cardinals, and as well, go get the Falcons in the playoffs. Yeah, all the birds, and we gotta get all the dirty birds, man. Just shoot them down. We bird hunt. Terry McLaurin's the eagle killer. We bird hunting right now, man. We're gonna be eating some eagles for breakfast, man. We do play the Ravens, we do play the Seahawks, we do play the Cardinals. So we got a lot of birds that we gotta hunt this season, man. I like that. Get the Eagles out the way, man. I definitely have us beating the Eagles, man. I'm not gonna say the score just yet. You know, I'll probably Barry Goldfair said 55-3 Washington. You guys are funny. Kenny Manfreda said, watch Isaiah Wright. Yes, sir. Watch it. He's special. Yeah. They don't know about Isaiah Wright, man. He's an undrafted free agent. I don't think he's going to get a lot of playing time at wide receiver in game one, but I think later on down the season, he's going to be a punt returner, a kick returner. Steve Sims is starting. He's going to be our main punt returner, but I think Isaiah Wright is going to be kick returning with Steve Sims. It might be Antonio Gibson if I'm not mistaken, but Isaiah Wright is a great special teams guy. He definitely can help us out in special teams. Yuri Kanzuki said Washington front D line is going to hurt quarterbacks. Yeah, man, you already know. Chase Young, man. You saw what he did to Adrian Peterson. You saw what he did to Logan Thomas, where he hit sticked him and just manhandled, threw him down, just manhandled that man. And then you see the other clip where the offensive lineman, number 67, he just, grabs him and just throws him to the side. That's the predator right there. That's that grown man strength, man. Eagles don't want that smoke, man. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a long day for Jason Peters. It's gonna be a long day for Lane Johnson too. It's gonna be a tough battle, man. Like I said, and it's not just Chase Young. You got to go up against Ryan Kerrigan. You got to go up against Montez Sweat. You got to go up against Ryan Anderson. We got a rotation of guys that can get back to the quarterback, man. And their offensive line is really banged up, so they don't want that smoke. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a long day, man. It's gonna be a long day for the Eagles' offensive line. Shamar, you're a funny guy. Who's stopping Saquon? Your team is stopping Saquon. You guys have been trashed for the last 4 or 5 years. So he's the Barry Sanders of the NFL. So the Giants are the ones that are going to be stopping Saquon. You guys keep taping golf balls to your hand and tennis balls to your hands. I don't know what Joe Judge is doing in New York, but he thinks all this stuff is going to make you guys start winning games. I got to see it to believe it. I'm not a believer in Joe Judge. I did see him jump in the mud, so he's trying his hardest to get his guys going, but it's just not going to work. It's not going to work, man. It's not going to work. The Giants, I got you guys going like 5-11 or something like that. So you guys are going to be in the bottom of the NFC East, in my opinion. Clover 902 said player to watch for me is Logan Thomas. Yeah, I mean, he's a sleeper. I slept on Logan Thomas. I slept on our whole tight end core. I really did. And I'm still not the biggest fan of our tight ends. I'm not the biggest fan of Jeremy Sprinkle. I want to give him a chance. I'm not the biggest fan of him. I've heard Marcus Ball has played well. The guy that I like out of all the guys on the tight end position is Hale Hinches, and he's on this practice squad. He didn't even make the 53-man roster. And then, we released Thaddeus Moss. I mean, we released Thaddeus Moss. He cleared waivers. Then we put him on injury reserve. So, but Logan Thomas has surprised me. He's played really well in training camp. He is a sleeper. He has great chemistry with Dwayne Haskins. He's been a great red zone target. Very fast, very athletic. He's played the quarterback position before. So we'll see what the guy can do, man. I'm excited to see what he can do, man. He's very fast, very athletic, man. I mean, he's not going to be like a Jordan Reed or anything like that, but he's got good hands. He's not scared to block. And, we know he did the dirty hit on Ryan Kerrigan last season. He might be able to have a nice hit on one of their linebackers, one of their defensive linemen. We'll see what Logan Thomas can do. I could definitely see him having 400 yards catching or 500 yards receiving this year. I think this is going to be a breakout year for Logan Thomas for sure. He definitely will be. Pedro says 28-14. Shout out to Pedro Smith. My bad. I seen Pedro Smith in here earlier. I didn't get to shout him out though. Burning and Gold fan all day. He says everybody saying Isaiah Wright is that guy. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Dwayne Haskins is in the chat. Hey, what's up, Captain? What's up, Captain? What's up, man? Any news on Calvin Harmon after he got injured? I haven't heard anything about it since it happened. Well, he got a torn ACL, so he's going to be out for the year. He will not be playing against it until the 2021 season. So there's not much to really talk about with Calvin Harmon. Just got to wait on him to rehab and get better for the 2021 season. It's unfortunate, man. I really was looking forward to Calvin Harmon play this season, but we brought in Dontrell Inman. Hopefully he can step up and play well. AGC, we drafted Antonio Gandy-Golden, who actually has a concussion. So wide receiver position, that third guy is really up in the air, or that receiver across from Terry McLaurin. We just don't know what we're gonna get. I'm hoping Dontrell Inman definitely can help out, but we just don't know. We just don't know what's gonna happen with that receiver across from Terry McLaurin just yet. Teddy Somer with the Mello Trimble profile picture. Shout out to Romello Trimble. Shout out to the Terps. I got my Maryland shirt on right now. Shout out to the Terps. He says, excited to see how our secondary holds up against the Eagles offense. Yeah. I mean, yeah, once again, like I said, Ronald Darby's been playing well in training camp. He's had a great practice. This is not going to be the Ronald Darby from the Eagles where he was getting torched and cooked. Like I said, the Eagles, they end cornerbacks' careers. Their careers, cornerbacks go to the Eagles just to get money, just to get paid, because they know they're not going to get coached up by Jim Schwartz. Their careers become on their careers are on life support after they're with the Eagles. You see, everybody, all Eagles fans are like, Sidney Jones is trash. Sidney Jones is trash. They couldn't really coach him up. This is a second-round pick. Coach him up, man. You cut him. Russell Douglas couldn't coach him up. He got cut. Nnamdi Asomugha was a beast with the Raiders, went to the Eagles, and he became trash. Byron Maxwell with the Seahawks went to the Eagles. I say it time and time again. Ronald Darby was pretty good with the Bills with Rex Ryan. He had a good coach, and he was healthy, and he played well. And the next thing you know, he goes to the Eagles. He gets torched every play. Almost every play he gets torched with the Eagles, and that's just not going to happen in D.C. with Jack Del Rio and Ron Rivera. Coach him up. He loves the scheme in D.C. He signed with us because he feels like it's a great fit. We have a great defensive line that he's not going to have to worry about. He's not going to have the quarterback's not going to have 8 to 10 seconds to throw the football. So Ronald Darby should be able to be aggressive and make some interceptions. I see Ronald Darby leading the team in interceptions this season. I think he's going to get 4 or 5 picks this year. So if he can stay healthy, he's just got to stay healthy. He's been injury prone. He's just got to stay healthy. Soy sauce. He said Giants wasting that first pick. Yeah, they did. They've had top 5 picks the last 4 or 5 seasons. Saquon Barkley, Daniel Jones, Andrew Thomas, another top 5, top 6 pick. So the Giants have been trash for the last 4 or 5 years. They've been really bad. Lawrence Doan says Doug Peterson said he's not certain if Lane Johnson will play. Yeah, I heard that too. I would not bet on Lane Johnson not playing. I would not bet on that. I think what they're doing, because I heard a report that they said Miles Sanders is questionable as well. But I think one of those guys definitely is going to play. I think all those guys are going to play. I think Lane Johnson's going to play. I think Miles Sanders is going to play. And honestly, I don't care if they play or not. To be honest with you, I don't care because I had us beating the Eagles before all these injuries happened. Before the Jalen Reagor injury happened. Before the Andre Dillard injury happened. Eagles fans don't even like Andre Dillard. They say he's trash. And what's his name? Brandon Brooks got injured. He's actually really good. So that did make a legitimate impact. But I still had us beating the Eagles because the Eagles, they always, the Quavis official said, my man said Lame Johnson. But the Eagles always have slow starts. They have slow starts all the time. And I'll break this down. They always have slow starts all the time. You know, we were beating up on them 17-0 last year. It comes down to coaching. We cannot take our foot off their necks. When we smell blood, we have to go for the kill. When it's 17-0, you just got to keep piling up. You can't ease up. And the crazy thing is, D-Jax last year, he said it in the locker room. D-Jax was like, I know how these guys are. I know how Jay Gruden is. Jay Gruden likes to play around a lot. It's like a boys' club, you know, the nipple twister that they did in practice. Jay Gruden, you know, getting his nipple twisted by D-Jax in practice. We all remember that video. And D-Jax was like, I know how these guys are. I know how these guys are. They're probably kicking in the locker room and not taking things seriously. That's going to be different with Ron Rivera. It's going to be different with Jack Del Rio. If we get out there, Carson Wentz is rusty, which I definitely can see happening, like he always is when they start off the season. Carson Wentz is always rusty. That we can really jump out there and get a 10-0 lead, 14-0 lead. I could definitely see that happen. We just got to seal the deal and take care of business. We got to take care of business. They don't know what's going to happen. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of motion. Air Coryell offense, a lot of motion. J.D. McKissick, Antonio Gibson. There's going to be a lot of surprises. And you already know they can't stop Terry McLaurin. They don't have an answer for him. You know, Darius Slay was barbecue chicken against Terry McLaurin in that Lions game. We just know what's going to happen. So Eagles are going to be very surprised, and the defensive line definitely should dominate their offensive line for sure. Beast Mode 2.0, thank you for the donation. He said, can't wait till week 1, Ed, 1-0. Yeah, man, I can't wait. I'm excited, man. We haven't had any preseason football, didn't have any mini camps, didn't have any OTAs, a lot of things that we missed out that regularly happen in football in a normal football season. So this is our first dose of football in a long time. We haven't seen football since December, you know, so it's been a long time, man. I can't wait, man. I'm excited. I can't wait. I really can't wait. Once again, thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate that. Brian Harding said, took a YouTube break for a while. It's good to be back. We'll get EO membership back in order once I get things right with Google. Hey, take your time, man. Take your time, man. It's gonna be a good season, man. So take your time. I'm happy to see you back, Brian Harding. I like the helmet. You know, I still got my stuff up, man. You know, I'm gonna try to get some Washington gear. You know, I'll try to get some Washington gear for real. But you know, it's on hold right now. But Brian, I get it, man. I understand, man. Take your time, man. Thank you for being a member in the first place, man. Thank you for being a member in the first place. I will be welcome you back with open arms for sure, man. Let's see if 4-3 is going to Kier. Baby Glock said Chase Young in here too. Somebody got a Chase Young account too. Simple Zach, what's up, man? Chase Young is in the building. The Predator's in the building. What's up, Predator? What's going on, man? He said Giants made the playoffs in 2016, then immediately went back to mediocrity. Yeah, it was because of Odell Beckham with the banana boat, man. And I'm not even going to talk about Odell Beckham. We already know what Odell Beckham is in the news for, so I don't even want to get into that too much. But yeah, ever since Odell Beckham took that picture on the boat with Victor Cruz and they had the shirts off, and you know they did all that, it was rough. It was rough for the Giants. It was rough for the Giants. Ever since that, like I said, they've had top 5, top 6 picks for the past 4 or 5 seasons. You know, for the past 4 or 5 seasons, man. So it's looking bad for the Giants. It's looking bad. It's looking real bad. They might be going out bad, going out sad. Thomas Wright said, "Can't wait for Chase Young and Marcus Sweat to sandwich sack Carson Wentz and put his head in the dirt." I can't wait either. You know Carson Wentz is fragile. That's why the Eagles drafted Jalen Hurts, because they don't think Carson Wentz can play a full 16 game season. You know, they just know it's inevitable. It's inevitable for Carson Wentz to get hurt. And I don't want to see a guy get hurt. I don't want to see a guy get hurt. Leon Hall, thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you, Leon. You don't have to say nothing, man. Just I appreciate you, man. You already know. You already know what it is. Thank you. That's my guy Leon with the donation. I appreciate you for that. But yeah, once again, Carson Wentz, man, he's very injury prone. Carson wheelchair Wentz. Who knows if he's going to finish a full season. That's why they drafted Jalen Hurts. That's why they drafted him. Because they know they cannot rely on him. So, but Donovan Gregory, you think we're going to trade Ryan Kerrigan to the Denver Broncos since Von Miller went down? I did see something on Twitter where somebody did suggest that. Yeah, that's a good question. Me personally, I would not trade Ryan Kerrigan. I think we need as many pass rushers as we can get. Now, when the trade deadline does come around, and say, we're not having the season that we thought we were going to have, we were like, how many games at the trade deadline? Like 8 games or something. Let's say we're like 2-6 or something like that. We know that we're not going to really make the playoffs, and it's really rebuild mode. And you know what Ron Rivera is doing. You know the direction this team is going. Like I said, after he cut Adrian Peterson, I know he doesn't fit the scheme, but he just wants to go with the younger guys. He wants to go with the younger guys, and he wants to go with the youth movement. And Ryan Kerrigan's getting up there. He's getting old. This is a contract year for Ryan Kerrigan, but I would not trade Ryan Kerrigan. I would keep him, just off the simple fact, you want to have a rotation of pass rushers. And this is why Jason Peters is going to get dominated. This is why he's going to be he's going to have probably 2 or 3 false starts. He's going to be scared. He's going to be shook, because he's going up against Chase Young and Ryan Kerrigan, and Montez Sweat and Ryan Anderson. The list goes on and on. So I would keep all those guys, and it's good to always have depth. It's good to have depth. Let Ryan Kerrigan get the sack record. Let him do his thing. He and Ryan Kerrigan always plays well against the Eagles. He plays really well against the Eagles. I think he had a pick 6 against the Eagles one year. So I would keep Ryan Kerrigan. But that is intriguing. If they give up a 2nd round pick, which I doubt they would give us a 2nd round pick for Ryan Kerrigan, maybe a 3rd round pick. Maybe you think about it, but I would not trade Ryan Kerrigan to the Broncos. It's an intriguing question. It's an intriguing question though. I do see some Eagles fans in here though. I do see y'all. Somebody said bye week 4 y'all season will be over. Ha ha lol. Ha ha ha. Hey man, like I said, I hope Carson Wentz makes it to week 4. Carson wheelchair Wentz. I wish no injury on any man, but it doesn't look like he's gonna make it that far this year. It really doesn't. Jason Peters said Jason Peters is a fossil, man. He's a fossil. Yeah, he like I said, he didn't even he wanted to get paid to play left tackle because he was like, man, I got to play against Chase Young, I got to play against Kerrigan. Y'all got to pay me before I get cooked. Before I'm barbecue chicken, I got to get paid. I'm going against Chase Young and Ryan Kerrigan. Come on now. Play Pippin says, how crazy an 8 to 10 win season. I know we've been hearing 2 wins or whatever, but this team seems like an all around powerhouse. What you thinking? Before I started this, before my season prediction, when the records came out, actually when the schedule came out, my schedule prediction was 6-10, and the reason why it was 6-10 is because we have such a young team. We have such a young team. Zion said, looks like Jalen Hurts is going to get his first start at week 2. Yeah, you never know, man. You never know. I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said, I don't wish injury on Carson Wentz, but he is very fragile. He's a bubble boy, Carson wheelchair Wentz. But yeah, back to the question about the record prediction. I have it going 6-10 this year, and we got a lot of guys that are developing. A lot of young guys. Steve Sims is young. We got a young quarterback. He's only started 7 games in his career. He only played 1 year in college, so he's got a lot of development to do. Not a lot of weapons around him, in my opinion. Logan Thomas is okay, but we don't really have anything to speak of at the tight end position. Offensive line is a question mark. Jaron Christian, our left tackle, is a question mark. Wes Martin, I like him a lot, but he's young. So it's got a lot of young team. We got a young team, and like I said, offensive weapons are very limited. Very limited. You got a young quarterback who's learning the game. So new coach, new offensive system. So it's gonna be some growing pains for Washington. It is. There are gonna be some growing pains for us. That's why I have a 6-10. I'm not gonna say, we're gonna be 10-6, 9-7, 8-8 out the gate. Because last year we were 30-13 for a reason. We were 30-13 for a reason. The reason why we threw it was bad coaching. I know we have new coaches this year, a lot better than Minuski and Jay Gruden and Bill Callahan, but it's still a process. It's still a process. A lot of guys trying to figure out where they stand with his team, and a lot of it is a tryout. There's a lot of competition all over the place at different positions. A lot of competition. You know, the strongest part of our team is defensive line. We still don't know what Antonio Gibson is going to do. We still got to see what he's going to do. We got to see if he's a franchise running back, if he's a franchise player. We just don't know yet. AGG, we don't know what we're going to get from AGG. He's a rookie. He's still learning. He's real raw. Steve Sims is an unproven player yet. He hasn't proven a lot just yet. He's played really good in 5 games, but we got to see a full season from him. We got Terry McLaurin. Like I said, the tight end position is lacking. Left tackle position, we don't know. It's a question mark. And defense, secondary needs a little bit of work. We don't know what Troy Apke is gonna do. So it's just a lot of question marks across the board. A lot of question marks. Shiv, North Carolina, Shiv NC said not too worried about our record as long as there's growth this season. Yeah, it's like I said, we're kind of like the Sixers. We're not as bad as the 76ers, but it's a trust the process kind of thing. We got Chase Young, number 2 pick, so we can build up the defensive line. And I'm not going to keep comparing us to the 49ers, but we kind of do have that 49ers kind of development where it took the 49ers some time. It took them 3 years to get to where they got. Rome is not built in a day, and I always say that. It takes time for you to get to become a consistently good team or a perennial playoff team. It takes time. It took time for the Niners to get there. They had to develop Jimmy G. They had to develop guys. They got him a good tight end in George Kittle. Nick Bosa was drafted just like Chase Young in the defensive line. They had a bunch of first-round picks. Next thing you know, they have an elite top 10, top 5, or they were the best defense in the league last year. They had a great defensive coordinator, the ball-headed guy. I forgot his name for the 49ers. We have a great defensive coordinator, Jack Dill. So we basically have that same formula. We just got to get it going on offense, honestly. We got to get hey, Chris Boer, you're a funny guy. Hey, put Darius Slay on Terry McLaurin. You already know what's going to happen. You saw what Terry McLaurin did to y'all last year. He's the equal killer. And you know what the funny thing is? The funny thing is there's actually a stat on Terry McLaurin that I already had about you guys. He torched you guys last year. Terry McLaurin has a 90.2 grade on Pro Football Focus against the Eagles with a perfect 158.3 passer rating when he's targeted. You know what Terry McLaurin does to y'all? You know what he does to y'all? That man eats against the Eagles. Every play. You can't stop that man, Terry. Y'all don't know what to do with Terry, man. Terry did the little dance in y'all stadium last year. That's what he did to y'all. You know what Terry's going to do. Darius Slay is not going to shut down anybody. He's going to get cooked. Darius Slay got cooked so many times last year. And Darius Slay even said himself, he talked about how good Terry McLaurin is. He talked about how good Terry McLaurin. He said Terry McLaurin was top 5 receivers that he faced last year. So you already know what Terry McLaurin's going to do to Darius Slay. You already know what he's going to do. Kyle Simmons said, "Love me some Cameron Curl." Yeah, I heard Cameron Curl's been playing really, really well. I heard Cameron Curl's been playing really, really well in training camp. He's blocked. He's had a good amount of pass breakups. Very fast, good on special teams. 7th-round pick out of Arkansas. Ron Rivera loves Cameron Curl. Cameron Curl's been balling. He's been balling in training camp. Man, he was a surprise guy making a roster, but he played really well. Man, he's a speedy guy. Can run sideline to sideline. He adds more speed to the defense. So I like Cameron Curl a lot too. I like him a lot too. A.M. Hunter, that's my guy, man. He has the best profile picture out there. You already know what it is. He said, "Yo, Ed, Terry, and Simmons Jr. gonna cook, man. Them Beagles, yes sir. Barbecue chicken, man. Darius Slay he's gonna be barbecue chicken, man. You already know what's gonna happen to him, man. It's gonna be a long day for Darius Slay, man. Darius Slay, he's probably gonna give up by the end of the first half. He's probably gonna give up by the end of the first half. I'm telling you, this is gonna happen. Eagles are gonna start slow. They do this every year. They're gonna start slow. The Eagles, they don't even like their own quarterback. Alshon Jeffrey doesn't even like Carson Wentz. He goes behind his back with Josina Anderson. He talks to Josina Anderson about how much he loves Nick Foles, and guys don't even believe in Carson Wentz, man. You drafted Jalen Hurts in the 2nd round because you don't think he can finish the season. So, it's gonna be a fun game. It's gonna be a fun game. That's all I'm gonna say. It's gonna be a fun game. I love all these Eagles trolls in here, man. I love it, man. Like I said, your own GM doesn't even believe in your quarterback. That's why he drafted Jalen Hurts in the 2nd round. That's why he did that. Let's see here. Alex Zero said, about to buy me a Scary Terry jersey. Yes, sir, man. Hey, I try not to buy jerseys anymore. I try not to buy jerseys anymore, but I got a Darius Geis jersey. You know what happened with that? And I'm trying to think, I think I got somebody else. I think I got an RG3 jersey. That went pretty bad too. I got that from Marshalls for like $8. I actually got the RG3 jersey. I think in his last year here. AM Hunter, thank you for the donation, man. That's my guy. He's a channel member. Like I said, he has the best profile picture out there, man. I'm telling you. He has the best. And guys, you don't have to delete the Eagles fans' comments, man. They're the worst fans in the league. They boo Santa Claus. They boo everything, man. Stacy Chisholm, you said who believes in Haskins? Did you see what Haskins did to y'all last year? Where he let y'all up? He was rookie of the week. He had a 30-yard run against y'all. He ran a read option against y'all. You know how slow Dwayne Haskins was last year? He ran a read option for 30 yards against y'all. That's how bad your defense was. He was throwing the ball everywhere. Threw the ball to Steve Sims, threw the ball to McLaurin. Come on, man. McLaurin's he's gonna have a good game. He's gonna have a good game week 1. I'm telling you, he's gonna have a good win. He's gonna have a good game. He's gonna have a good game. Brian Nee says, "What are your thoughts on Antonio Gibson this week/season?" I think Antonio Gibson's gonna have a good game. I don't know if he's gonna light it up this week, but he's definitely have a good game. I got him having like 50 receiving yards and about 60 yards rushing, which is not bad. I have him getting a touchdown. He's got to split. He's got to split carries with Jada McKissick. It's going to be a running back by committee. So don't go out there thinking that what's his name, Antonio Gibson's going to go out there and have 100 yards rushing or something like that. So don't go out there thinking like that. You gotta ease the rookie in. I think he's gonna, like I said, 50 yards rushing, 60 yards receiving, which is not bad. And then Jaden McKissick is gonna get his too. So it's gonna be thunder and lightning out there. It's gonna be thunder and lightning. See, Sergio 7. The thing about that, Eagles fans can talk about the trash they want. I just don't want to hear the excuses about the injuries. That's all. I don't want to hear any excuses. Because, like I said, even if they were healthy, I had us beating them anyway. Because you just look at their weaknesses, man. The weakness is the wide receiver position. They have great tight ends, but the wide receiver position is lacking. And then I just don't think their offensive line would have been able to hold. If Andre Dillard didn't get injured, I think Chase Young would have been. He would have easily handled Andre Dillard. I think Ryan Kerrigan would have easily handled Andre Dillard as well. They're going to easily handle Jason Peters. So I think before the injury, Jalen Reagor is not impressive in my opinion. Also in the sports, what's up, man? Jalen Reagor, he's okay, but I think they should have drafted Justin Jefferson. I think they botched that with the draft. So I'm not overly impressed with Jalen Reagor. I think Jalen Reagor's solid. I think he's pretty good, but I got to see it to believe it with him. They don't even like Alshon Jeffrey. He's slow as crap now. He's declining. So not a believer in their wide receiver core, except for DeSean Jackson. And then on the defensive side, the secondary always gets torched. They always get torched. Terry McLaurin is the Eagle killer, so I'm not really scared by their secondary. And once again, their linebacking core is pretty weak. And the secondary, Jalen Mills, he gets torched a lot too. I do like their defensive line, though. I do respect their defensive line with John Hargrave. I respect Fletcher Cox. Brandon Graham is not bad, and Derek Barnett's not bad. So I do respect their defensive line for sure. I do. I respect their defensive line. Samuel Hadley said Eagles never listened to our excuses when we were injured. So tough for the Eagles. Right, man. We were the most injured team in the whole league. Alex Smith being out, Jordan Reed always injured, Vernon Davis injured, Colt McCoy broken leg. So I don't want to hear any excuses. I don't want to hear any excuses. He said week 4, y'all be talking about next week. That's gonna be y'all. Y'all gonna try to draft another quarterback in the second round again. Wheelchair wins, can't stay upright. So you're gonna have Jalen Hurts, and you're gonna draft another quarterback in the second round. So y'all gonna be talking about the draft, not us. Let's see here. Sergio 7 or Morgan Mines say that 4-3 defense is going to kill. I'm so glad we went back to it. I just can't wait to see our defensive line win one-on-ones down there and get the sack. Yeah, man, I can't wait, man. I can't wait. The 4-3 is gonna be lit with Jack Del Rio. Yak Dog said, "Yo, Ed, I'm up here in Philly, so I'll be catching it when we lose. We gotta win." I know it's probably rough for you in Philly. It's probably rough. You gotta smell those nasty Philly cheesesteaks all the time. But yeah, it's probably rough. It probably is rough. I think I definitely got to get the win on Sunday for sure. I will be doing my prediction video on Friday, so stay tuned for that. And I will be doing my basically kind of like a keys to victory kind of thing. What we got to do to beat the Eagles, their weaknesses and where they are lacking. I'll be doing a video, and I'll probably give a score prediction for Sunday as well. So stay tuned for the video on Friday. I'm about to get off here in a few minutes though, because it is coming up on an hour. Dwayne Haskins plug. What's up, man? What's going on with Dwayne Haskins plug? We got another Dwayne Haskins guy here. He said, when did he say that DeQuavius he's hoping somebody else? Rufio said D Jackson wasn't going to be hurt this year. But I guess I don't wish injury on anybody. I don't wish injury on anybody. But history repeats itself, man. They just can't stay healthy. They really can't. Samuel Hadley said, Apke is so fast. I'm not worried about D Jackson. Yeah, I'm not going to say I'm not worried about D Jackson. It's somebody that we definitely account for. Somebody that, we're going to have to keep eyes on him the whole time. That's the one receiver that I'm actually concerned about. I'm not really worried about Arthega-Whiteside. I'm not really worried about Rager, even if he plays. I'm not really worried about those guys, to be honest with you. I'm just not. Greg Ward, he caught a pass on Josh Norman. Whoop-de-doo. We're supposed to be, like, oh my gosh, Greg Ward is so good. Come on now. Let's be real. I could have caught a pass on Josh Norman last year. Everybody in this chat probably could have caught a pass on Josh Norman last year. So, I'm not impressed by the wide. Now, the tight ends is where they have an advantage. I'll give you that. They have Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert. Now, if we can put Apke on one of those guys, so be it. But we need him to stay back, really honestly, for D-Jax. We need somebody shadowing D-Jax the whole time, staying back, bracketing him because he can get busy. Like I said, but he has crackhead speed. Like Patrick Peterson for the Cardinals said, D-Jax has crackhead speed, and he can really run fast as crap. He can run fast as crap. Moby, yes, Jalen Rager is supposed to be out week 1. Now, I did see him practicing today. They had footage of him practicing. So I don't know if he's going to be out week 1. He might actually come back and play. Who knows? You just got to be ready for anything. You got to be ready for anything. You got to be ready for anything. They're trying to say Lane Johnson's not going to play. I don't believe that one bit. Lane Johnson's going to play. He's going to suit up and play. Let's not get caught up in that. He's playing. The only guys not playing is Andre Dillard and Brandon Brooks. Alshon Jeffrey probably will play though. Alshon Jeffrey, he might play. I don't know if he's gonna play. I would try to be prepared for him too. Now they just don't have a lot of depth at the cornerback position, so you got to expose their corners. They let go of Sidney Jones, Russell Douglas, and then they cut Craven LeBlanc and they brought him back. Those guys can really be exposed. You can really expose Jalen Mills at the safety position. You can really expose those guys. So I love our matchups against their secondary. I can't wait. Terry's licking his chops. He's licking his chops to go against Darius Slay. He can't wait. Frank Clark, what's up, man? He said, just wanted to say great work, Ed. I was checking out an Eagles YouTuber and he shouted you out. Yeah, I think you're talking about Brunson, man. That's my guy. Shout out to Laura Brunson, man. That's my guy for real. He's a good guy. I do want to do a video with him for real. I wanted to do a video with another Eagles YouTuber. He wasn't available though. We've definitely done videos before. We did one video before Philly Mike. But shout out to Brunson, man. Shout out to Brunson. He's a good guy. He's a very confident guy. He's a very confident guy with his Eagles, man. Very confident. Eagles fans are very cocky. That's one thing you can say about Eagles. They're very cocky. They think they're going to win the Super Bowl every season. They only got one ring. Last time I checked, 3 rings are better than 1. 3 rings were better than just 1. And the Eagles only got 1 ring. We got 3. 3 rings are better than 1 ring last time I checked. Escobar, thank you for the donation. He says showing support 100 emoji. Yes, sir. Thank you, man, for the donation. Shout out to my man Escobar. Shout out to Escobar. That's my guy right there, man. Kyle Simmons said Kevin Pierre-Louis will shut down Ertz. I'm not gonna say he's gonna shut down Zach Ertz, but I think he can do a pretty good job against Zach Ertz. I think he can do a good job against Zach Ertz. Joseph P. Right, yeah, you won 1 Super Bowl. I think they always will. That's the thing. 3 rings are better than 1. They got to catch up to us. I know our rings were ancient a long time ago, but a ring is a ring. We got 3 of them things. They got to catch up. They're at the bottom of the NFC East. Even the Giants have more championships than the Eagles. That's the thing about it. That's the funny thing about it. They only have one. They just got a ring in 2018. It took them 50-something years to get one ring. The Eagles fans didn't even know how to act. They was out there eating horse dung. I remember that when they had the parades and whatnot. Eagles fans did not know how to act. They act like they never won before because they haven't. They never won before, so they didn't know how to act. Tearing things up. Y'all want to talk about riots? Eagles fans are out there rioting, setting things on fire, tearing down light poles and whatnot. Eagles fans, they don't know how to act. They don't know how to win. You know, they've never been humble. Whenever you seen a humble Eagles fan? Very hard to find. Very hard to find. They had a jail in their stadium for a reason. Kyle Simmons, yes, I did. I did see the extension. I did see the extension. I did see the extension for Jalen Ramsey. I did see that. He got a lot of money. He got a bag. He got paid. He got paid, man. He got paid. Shamar said 2017 was when they won the Super Bowl. Yeah, 2017, whatever. 2018, 2017. Yeah, they don't know how to act. They don't know how to act. They won one Super Bowl. They don't know how to act for real. They really don't. They're out there eating horse dung, tearing light poles down, and whatnot. They just didn't know how to act for real. They don't know how to act for real. Bernie Gold fan said Washington wins matters. Yeah, you already know. You already know. Cole or Alonzo Yarborough said, "How many touchdown passes do you think Dwayne Haskins going to get week one?" I want to say two, probably one or two. It's going to be a low scoring game. I don't think it's going to be a high scoring game at all. So I would say like two touchdowns. I don't see him going out there throwing 4 touchdowns. I don't see either team really getting over 30 points, 20 points. I don't see it happening. Honestly, I think it's going to be a defensive tough game, 20-17. That's how Ron Rivera is, though. You know, he wants to run a football and make it a grinding out defensive type game. You know, that's what he wants. You know, that's how it's going to be. I think Dwayne Haskins is going to have a good game, though. I think he's going to have like 200 something yards passing, or maybe even 300. But I don't think he's going to have more than 2 touchdowns. I think he's going to have like one or 2 touchdown passes. And that's all we're going to really need to win the game. We need to get a running touchdown. We just need to score any way we can. But I see either Gibson or McKissick running the ball in for a touchdown, or maybe Bryce Love might get a goal line touchdown or something like that. But I got Haskins throwing 1 touchdown on Sunday. Not anything more than not like 3 or 4, but I got him throwing like maybe like 2. Maybe 2. I think McLaurin's definitely gonna get him. Either McLaurin or Stevenson's gonna get 1 touchdown. And don't sleep on Dontrell Inman. Don't sleep on Dontrell Inman. Dontrell Inman might have a good game. He might have a good game. Oscar Josue Montel, thank you for the donation. Stacy Chisholm, you were embarrassed, right? Right. Yeah. Y'all don't know how to act when y'all win. Y'all finally got that ring. Y'all did not know how to act. See, Washington fans, you know, we have a cool parade. Once we win our Super Bowl in the next 3 years or 2 years, whatever's gonna happen, you know, we're gonna have a nice humble parade. I am gonna talk my stuff. But you know, that's how we're gonna do because we've been there before. We won championships before. You know, before the worst owner in sports owned this team. You know, we won rings. We got 3 rings. You know, shout out to Doug Winger, shout out to Mark Ripien, shout out to Joe Theismann and them boys, shout out to the Fun Bunch, shout out to Art Monk, shout out to the Hogs, shout out to all them guys. Oscar Ho, Sway Montel, thank you for the donation. That's my guy. Make sure you guys sub him up. Good guy. He's an up and coming Washington football YouTuber. Great guy. I am going to try to collab with him in the next, you know, coming weeks. You know, we're definitely going to do a collab, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you guys sub up his channel. Man, he's a great guy. Good guy. Always donating to the channel. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for the donation. JB Hardy once said, "Did you hear about AGG getting a concussion?" Yeah, I did hear about that. They kept that under wraps. Now they finally released that news, and yeah, he has a concussion. So I think he will be playing though. Alexander Wilson, thank you for the donation. He said Las Vegas odds has Haskins as the earliest quarterback to get benched. They also had Jay Gruden as the first coach to get fired last year. 17. Yeah, they did get that right, and I don't think it was hard to say that with Jay Gruden. Now, last year, I'm trying to think who else got fired. I think Matt Patricia was on the hot seat, and who else got fired? Oh, the Giants coach got fired. What's his name? Pat Shermer. He got fired. Jason Garrett got fired. Actually, the whole NFC East coaches got fired, honestly, or let go. They parted ways with everybody in the NFC East. Ron Rivera got fired. That was unexpected. But Jay Gruden, like they talked about that the whole offseason. Remember, because we were supposed to be on Hard Knocks, and they asked Jay Gruden the question. They were like, "Oh, if we don't make the playoffs, then I'm not gonna have a job." So he started joking about that. So I think a lot of people knew Jay Gruden was gonna get fired. I didn't know we were gonna be 0-5 though. It was like, wow, he's got to go. He's got to go. Especially the way he handled Dwayne Haskins last year. Jay Gruden had to be fired. He was a joke. Like I said, it was all the allegations coming out with Jay Gruden about him and Capri Biz and DJ Swearinger. I hate to talk about Jay Gruden so much, but he was a joke as a coach, and it was time for him to go. I'm happy he got fired because we would have never had Ron Rivera if he didn't get fired. So, but the thing about Dwayne Haskins, yeah, I mean, it's tough. They think he's going to be benched first. I highly disagree with that. I think Ron Rivera is going to ride it out with Dwayne. I think he wants to see Dwayne for the next 16 games because the thing is, and I was thinking about this morning, unfortunately. Now, Dwayne Haskins, if he doesn't play well, then, he probably will be out the door. It's just that's just how it's going to be. Unfortunately, I think it's unfair to him, because you got Trevor Lawrence, you got Justin Fields, you got Trey Lance, you got 3 quarterbacks who are top 10 quarterbacks. So if Dwayne Haskins goes out there and if he has a bad season, let's say he has 17 touchdowns and 18 interceptions or something like that. Knock on wood, heaven forbid that ever happens. But if Dwayne Haskins doesn't have a good season next year, then they're going to draft a different quarterback. Unfortunately, this is how it is, and I hope Ron Rivera gives Haskins some time to develop. Haskins gonna have a rough 2 or 3 games. Let's say he has a decent game against the Eagles, he struggles against the Cardinals, and then we play the Ravens in Week 4. He struggles against the Ravens, which a lot of quarterbacks struggle against the Ravens. So you can't really get mad at him on that, But let's say Dwayne has an up and down season. Like I said, he has that stat line where it's like 17 touchdowns, 14 picks, something like that. I would still try to write it out with Dwayne. But it's hard because you got Justin Fields breathing down your neck, and you got Trey Lance breathing down your neck. So it's tough, But I wouldn't bench him for Kyle Allen. I really would. I would just ride. I would just let Haskins develop and play, honestly. So, but you look at other guys that could be benched. You look at the Chargers. Tyrod Taylor, he's been benched many a times before. You got Justin Herbert for the Chargers. He could be benched. Gardner Minshew, if he has a bad season, Jay Gruden is his offensive coordinator. So, Gardner Minshew probably is going to decline. So, those are other guys that could be benched before. Mitchell Trubisky, I think he's the next up in the odds. Mitchell Trubisky, he's been trashed for the past couple of years. So who knows? He could have a bad first 2 games, and they can bring in Nick Foles. Nick Foles is breathing down his neck. So those are the other quarterbacks that I could definitely see being benched. Daniel Jones could fumble it up and have a bad first few games. Next thing you know, you see Colt McCoy out there. Where's Shamar at? Where's Shamar at? Where are you at, man? I don't know where you at. But yeah, if Danny Fumbles goes out there and fumbles a couple times, you can see Colt McCoy trotting out there and playing for the Giants. So I'm not a fan of that pick. Not a fan of that pick by Vegas, but it is what it is. Not a fan of that pick, but it is what it is, though. It is what it is. Vivek says, question, would you sign Antonio Clown given the chance the new culture in Washington may give him a chance to be a good receiver again? No, sir. I would not draft Antonio Clown. I do not want to draft Antonio Clown. I would never do that. He just got suspended 8 games, and he might even get suspended more. They're still doing an investigation. Roger Goodell is still doing an investigation on some of the things that Antonio Clown did. So, you have the incident with the truck driver. You have the incident with the allegations with the sexual assault and sexual harassment. Text message from Antonio Brown. You see him on Twitter going at Robert Kraft. You saw what happened with the Raiders with him freezing his feet, the whole helmet fiasco. So there's just many things going on with Antonio Brown. I think he needs help. I think he has CTE. I think he just needs some mental help, seriously. So I would not go after Antonio Clown. I would do Josh Gordon, but Josh Gordon got re-signed by the Seahawks. So I think we should draft. It depends on how the receivers go this year. You just got to see what Steve Sims does this year. You got to see what HGG does and Inman. And Calvin Harmon's coming back next year, so we'll see. Alexander Wilson, thank you for the donation once again. He said Daniel Snyder drafted Dwayne Haskins, overruled Kyle Smith and everybody. Blame that on Dan Snyder. Anything he touches turns into a turd. Tor City beat out Nick Foles. or Trubisky. You call it Trubisky torcity. Uh, um, yeah, I mean Trubisky beat out Nick Foles. That's true, but I feel like they wanted. I feel like honestly, the Bears organization wanted to give Shamar Daniel Jones is going to get benched. Watch, and Colt McCoy is going to come out there. I think they did. I think they wanted to give. I think they wanted to give what's his name, Mitchell Trubisky, one more chance. And I don't know if it was a fair competition with Nick Foles. To be honest with you, I think if they had some preseason games, I feel like Nick Foles might have been better in the preseason game. They might have actually beat out Mitchell Trubisky. Now Nick Foles sometimes he does play like trash on other teams. I think Nick Foles is only good on the Eagles. Nick Foles is only good when he comes in for Carson Wentz and takes his job and wins the Super Bowl and takes him to the playoffs when Carson Wentz is messing up and gets injured as a wheelchair Wentz and he the funny thing is I'll go on Carson Wentz right now. The season before Nick Foles took over in that second season, right after they won the Super Bowl, they were 5-6. They were not going to make the playoffs if it wasn't for Nick Foles. If Carson Wentz would have stayed healthy, even if he would have stayed healthy, they were still losing games. That was the season where Alex Smith was check down Charlie. We were winning games. We were at the top of the NFC East. The Eagles would not have made the playoffs if it wasn't for Alex Smith breaking his leg. Honestly, they would not have made the playoffs. And Nick Foles took over the reins and he led them to the playoffs. But yeah, I mean Dan Snyder is one of the worst owners in the league. He's one of the worst owners in the league in sports. He's one of the worst owners in sports. He's one of the worst owners in sports. Honestly, he really is. So Dan Snyder, I think he's finally getting it right. He signed or he hired Ron Rivera, who hired Jack Del Rio. So we have some legitimate coaches in the building. We have some legitimate guys in the front office. Kyle Smith is a good talent evaluator. I think we need to get a GM, a general manager. I think that's where he's messing up. I still think we need a general manager. I think we still need a general manager, honestly. I know Kyle Smith is kind of the GM with player personnel, but I just think we need a general manager, to be honest with you. I think we do. I think a lot of stuff is still on Ron Rivera's plate. It's still a coach-centric type of environment. And, with him having cancer right now, I don't know if a coach-centric environment is the best for Ron Rivera, but he loves it. He's stepping up to the plate. They said the cancer is curable and treatable. So I'm hoping Ron Rivera, he should be fine, honestly. They caught it in its early stages. So Ron Rivera should be fine. But I think Haskins is a good quarterback. We got to see. We just got to give the guy a chance, man. We got to give the guy a chance. He played well towards the end of the year. He won Rookie of the Week against the Eagles last year. Played really well against the Giants. Went 13 for 15, 2 touchdowns before they put a bounty on him. It hurt his ankle. So we gotta see more from Haskins. I want to see more. I'm excited. He's got a C on his chest now. He is a captain of the team. His teammates chose him to be a captain. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. But Dan has been bad. He has been bad. But let's see. He got rid of Bruce Allen. Got rid of Bruce Allen. That was a big step, man. That was something that we never thought that Dan was going to do. But he actually finally got rid of Bruce Allen, and things have been looking better since then. Jerome Smith Jr., thank you, man. He said this is the best sports show on YouTube. I appreciate that, man. I really do. I appreciate that. Alexander Wilson, another donation. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. He said I had a friend who graduated high school with DeMatha. He went to DeMatha and worked at Redskins Park. He said it was hell there and sour his finish with the team. Wow. Well, yeah. I mean, we've heard about how bad of an environment it's been in DC and Washington. Bruce Allen, Dan Snyder, Scary Larry Michael, and Alex Santos, and the list goes on and on of guys who verbally harass people and then treat people right in the work environment. So it's tough, and the guy, that's why I'm rooting for Jason Wright, man. I'm rooting for Julie Donaldson. I'm rooting for all the new hires who are coming in. It's definitely changing the culture. There is going to be, there is an investigation now. There is an investigation now on the work environment. They only had one human resources person. That's unacceptable. That's inexcusable. So they have more human resources people in there. So if something does go wrong, you can go to those people and talk to them. But yeah, Dan Snyder, man, he doesn't really know how to run a business, man. He doesn't know how to run. It's inexcusable. It's inexcusable the things that happen in Redskins Park. I mean, not Redskins Park, but Washington Park. See, I was ready. I was in. You got me saying the name. I do got the stuff behind me still, but it is what it is. And I don't blame him for souring his fanship, but don't let Dan Snyder in a bad work environment. I get it. That definitely can sour your fanship. If you're working for the team and they treat you like crap, they're paying you pennies, they're telling you, hey, we don't care if you quit because we got somebody else that can replace you. A lot of people want this job, and we don't care with you. We just treat you like you're another number or like you're another person who's desperate to work here. Alan Zero said the culture is actually damn good. It's not, Uh, happy Thanksgiving, right? Happy Thanksgiving. The culture is actually damn good. Uh, once again, happy Thanksgiving. But yeah, it is hard. It's hard. But somebody else said, don't root for Dan. We're not cheering for Dan Snyder. We're cheering for Terry McLaurin. We're cheering for Steve Sims. We're cheering for Dwayne Haskins. We're cheering for those guys. We're cheering for Chase Young. We're not rooting for the guys who ruin this franchise like a Dan Snyder. And I don't want to make this video about Dan Snyder. I don't want to make this video about him. I just want to make this about, Eagles, Washington, week 1. How we're gonna get this W. How we're gonna beat them. We're gonna beat all the odds. We had a crazy offseason. Darius Geis was released. Adrian Peterson released. We're still doing our thing. We got Antonio Gibson. We got a bright future with a young guy. So I don't want to talk too much about Dan Snyder and Bruce Allen. Happy Thanksgiving, a damn good culture. So I think the future is bright, man. I really do. I think the future is bright. I think we're definitely gonna get this win week 1. And this year is not going to be a 10-6 season, but maybe in 2020, 2022 is where I see us really making the playoffs and doing some damage for real. Redskins Bay 12, man, good question, man. That's another channel member. That's my guy, man. That is my guy. Shout out to him. He's an elite channel member, and he was on the channel last week. Make sure you guys check out last week's stream. We had a blast. Him and Kenny Man Fitness. We had a great time talking Washington football. He says, hey, who do you got on tomorrow's game? I got the Chiefs. I mean, that's kind of an easy one, honestly. The Texans are not bad with Deshaun Watson, but Bill O'Brien is a terrible coach. He's a terrible general manager, trading away DeAndre Hopkins, just making bad decision after bad decision. And I like Deshaun Watson, but they don't have enough firepower to beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs are the defending champs. So I got the Chiefs winning this game. I think it's going to be closer than what people think. So I still got the Chiefs winning this game, though. I got the Chiefs winning this game. Cruising 26 said, "Big Blue will sweep you." Good joke. Good joke. It's not April Fool's Day, man. You're a funny guy. Danny Fumbles ain't doing nothing. He ain't doing nothing. He ain't getting any better. He's trash. He ain't doing it. Andrew Thomas. Chase Young's going to dominate Andrew Thomas. Andrew Thomas is the next Eric Flowers. He's a turntable. He's going to be a turntable. He's going to be a bust. Saquon Barkley is going to be Barry Sanders. He's going to be on a bad team. He's going to have 100 yards rushing every game, but still lose. And Evan Ingram is injury prone. Your offensive line is trash. Nate Solder opted out. I go in on you guys. You have no pass rush to speak of at all. Your secondary is not bad. James Bradbury is not bad. Judge Judy, his guys with golf balls or tennis balls in their hands, brickstone bricks to the doing silly stuff, running in the mud, trying to get dirty with his players. All that stuff's not going to work. It's not going to work. The guys are going to tune him out by week 6, and then you're going to have another top 5. Judge Judy's going to last, what, 2 years? I got Judge Judy lasting like 2 years with the Giants. I got him lasting like 2 years, for real. I don't think he's going to last. Actually, Cruising, thank you for the donation once again. But I got a question for you. How long do you think Joe Judge is really going to last with the Giants? How long? How long do you really have him lasting? Like, you guys run through coaches almost as bad as us, man. Pat Shermer, Bob McAdoo. Like I said, you guys run through coaches very, very quickly. Very quickly, you guys don't keep a coach for long. You really don't. And you got Coach Clapp as your assistant coach. You got Coach Clapp, Jason Garrett as your assistant coach. You guys are funny, though. You guys really are. You guys are an interesting team, though, because you do got talent. You do have some talent, though. Saquon is talented. I like Sterling Shepard. I like some of the guys on your roster. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I just think you guys are 2 years away from being 2 years away. Honestly, you guys are still 2 years away from being 2 years away. The old saying for the Giants. But thank you, Cruiser, for the donation. I love going back and forth with Giants fans. I love it, man. It's fun. It really is. I love going back and forth with the Giants. JB Hardy one. He says he needs to keep that $2 for some cheap liquor after he went with the Giants. Nah, man. Nah, man. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, the Giants, man. You guys are probably gonna have a top 6, top 5 pick once again. You guys are gonna be picking. Yeah, you guys might be getting Trevor Lawrence. Honestly, they really might. They might be getting Trevor Lawrence. You guys might have to get Justin Fields or Trey Lance, one of those guys. For real, you guys are gonna be struggling this year. I guess you guys are gonna like 5-11. No, I wouldn't go as far as say 2-14, but I see 5-11. JB Hardy said, "How do you think Adrian Peterson will do in Detroit?" I think he's gonna do really well. I think he's gonna be doing really well in Detroit. He's gonna be really good in Detroit. He's gonna have some good games. Adrian Peterson still has some left in the tank, man. And everybody talks about his financial situation and he's in debt or whatever. I'm not gonna get into this man's pockets, but he wants to play for a long time. He does want to play for the next 5 seasons. Adrian Peterson should be really good. I think he's gonna get a couple touchdowns. And he's going to do his thing, man. Adrian Peterson. If it was up to me, I wouldn't have released him. I really would not have. And the reason why I wouldn't release him is because I've been scarred by injuries so much on this team. Darius Geis was always injured. He's not on the roster anymore. Shout out to Juan Gotti. What's up, man? And if somebody gets hurt, then it's going to be tough, man. If Gibson, knock on wood, if he goes down, it's going to be tough, man. It really is. When those guys go down, man, I like having depth at the running back position, honestly. And I know Adrian Peterson doesn't fit the scheme, but you see what he did the last 2 years for us, man. 1,000 yards rushing and 898 yards rushing last year. It speaks for itself. Adrian Peterson was doing his thing, man. He was playing well the last 2 years. So I still don't agree with the move of releasing him, but I understand it. Shout out to Antonio Gibson. I really hope he is the next best thing. I really hope he is similar to a Christian McCaffrey. I mean, I know he's not going to be as good as Christian McCaffrey. Who knows? Or like a maybe he could be like a Cordarrelle. I don't want to say he'll be like a Cordarrelle Patterson. Hopefully, he'll be better than Cordarrelle Patterson. But man, it was tough. It was tough. And Rufio says, yeah, Adrian Peterson won all the carries. That's true. Adrian Peterson, he's a bell cow running back. And he Jay Gruden wanted to cut him. He was with the Saints. Sean Payton wanted to get rid of him too. They actually did get rid of him. So Adrian Peterson, he's a guy where if he's not getting his 20 to 30 touches, it's tough. And he was actually splitting carries with Darius Geis because you saw what happened in the Panthers game where he beat Ron Rivera. Maybe Ron Rivera had an ulterior motive against AP because he got him fired. Darius Geis got him fired. And Adrian Peterson got him fired by beating him in that game. So maybe he had an ulterior motive. Who knows? But, the thing is, Adrian Peterson wants all the carries. He's a bell cow kind of running back. He wants 20 to 30 carries a game. So it's just not going to work here. And Scott Turner wants to have a running back by committee. He wants to have running backs that can catch out the backfield, that pony kind of running back. That's what Adrian Peterson called it, pony style, where they catch the football out of the backfield, running the slot receiver, motion all over the place. So you're not going to run Adrian Peterson in motion. It's just not going to happen. So that's what Scott Turner wants to do with J.D. McKissic. That's what he wants to do with Adrian Peterson. So Alexander Wilson, thank you for the donation once again. That's my guy, Alexander Wilson. Hey, you should become a channel member. Honestly, you really should. Alexander Wilson, you should become a channel member, definitely for sure. You should become an elite channel member so we can get you on the show, so you can talk. We can definitely get you on the stream once a month, like my man Redskins Bay 12 man, or like my man DC Bay 12 man. He says D'Angelo Hall said the O will struggle thoughts. Well, we know D'Angelo Hall. He's not a fan of this team, in my opinion. He says he's a supporter of the team, and I wasn't even a fan of Julie Donaldson picking D'Angelo Hall as a radio guy or a play-by-play guy. I'm not a fan of that because you can't listen to D'Angelo Hall. He said Kyle Allen would beat out Dwayne Haskins. We all remember that. He said Dwayne Haskins doesn't want to compete. he said these young guys don't want to compete, these young boys, and all this bull crap he was talking. When we know that Dwayne Haskins beat out Joe Burrow at Ohio State, so he's had to compete before. So for him to fix his lips and say stuff like that on NFL Network and the national media, looking for attention, was inexcusable in my opinion. And that we should not have let D'Angelo Hall be a part of the media, in my opinion. Here, he badmouthed, even though everybody badmouthed Josh Norman. I remember that, and Josh Norman showed out. So I think D'Angelo Hall might bring the best out of these guys. Whenever D'Angelo Hall bad mouths guys, whenever he bad mouth guys, we usually ended up proving them wrong. So I'll let D'Angelo Hall talk his stuff and be negative, be a negative Nancy and stuff, and say all this negative stuff about that stuff. So let him say that stuff, man. Let D'Angelo talk. Let D'Angelo Hall talk his nonsense. Let him talk his nonsense. But I do appreciate D'Angelo Hall for the things that he did. Here in DC. He did help us get to the playoffs that 1 year with RG3, where he got up in Des Bryant's face on Thanksgiving. That was awesome. I love that. And he had the 3 interception game against Jay Cutler. So, D'Angelo Hall did some good things in his time in DC, but as an analyst and as a play-by-play guy or whatever he's supposed to be this year, he's been nothing but a hater. Honestly, he's been nothing but a hater. So I take what D'Angelo Hall says with a grain of salt. I really do. I don't really value his opinion like that. I really don't. I don't. Yeah, Reggie Reg. Yeah, I think he tore his Achilles on that play when what's his name, DeAndre Hopkins did a stop and go move, or he did a curl route. It was on HBO and Hard Knocks. So, Cruising 26 with another donation. He said your mods time me out there. So Cruising, let me give you a wrench, man. Where you at? Let me give you a wrench. Actually, yeah, I just gave you a wrench. So nobody's gonna time me out. Okay, you're good to go, buddy. Nobody's gonna time you out. Thanks again for the donation. But yeah, guys, the only time you need to time somebody out is if I'm actually in the chat right now. I'm looking at the chat. Is if they're cursing and saying stuff like if they're calling you out your name, calling you the B word and stuff like that. That's the only time you really need to time somebody out. If they're just being obnoxious and spamming, that's the only time you really need to time somebody out. If they're just friendly trash talk, you don't really need to time them out though. You don't really need to time them out. I know this is an NFC East battle, guys. This is what's gonna happen. It's gonna be a lot of trash talk, and I embrace trash. I like trash talk. I don't shy away from trash talk. I really don't. I don't shy away from trash talk. I really don't. So that's the only time. All right, Yak Dog, thank you for the donation, man. Thank you, man. I saw Yak Dog say he wants to become an elite channel member. So Yak Dog said, "Yo, I'll be elite next week. I got 50 years of Washington stories for you." Yeah. Hey, I love hearing about the old stories, man. Like I said, I didn't get to see a lot of winning, recently. I haven't seen Shamar. Okay, Shamar, I'll give you a wrench too. Shamar, I really shouldn't give you a wrench, Shamar. But you're a good guy. Okay? So you don't have to time out Shamar. He is a troll. He is a Giants fan, but you don't have to time him out. But Yak Dog, definitely, man. I love hearing about old Washington stories. I really do. I love hearing about that stuff. Fight for old DC. I love hearing about it. I really do. I love it. I love it. I can just stay and listen to it all the time, hearing about Doug Williams, Art Monk, Joe Jacoby, and them boys, man. The Hogs, Joe Bugle, rest in peace to Joe Bugle, coaching up the Hogs, man. Dexter Manley, Charles, man. I love it, man. I can't wait. I love hearing those stories. So please do sign up for the Elite Channel membership so I can definitely get you on a stream. We do it once a month. You already know, right? DC Bay, 12 man. He gets on there once a month with my man Kenny Man Fitness. That's my guy too. So shout out to him. Shout out to my man Yak Dog for the donation, man. I appreciate that big time. Rufio said Eagles defensive coordinator admits it's hard to prepare for. Yeah, you just don't know what's happening, man. He's a rookie, man. So you don't have a lot of film on him. Very shifty, very dynamic, can catch out of the backfield. He's not just a running back. He's basically like a wide receiver out there. He's a wide receiver / running back. That's what he is, man. So they don't know what's coming, man. They don't know how to guard him. For real. He's a shifty guy. He's going to surprise a lot of people, man. That's what I think. The Eagles are not ready for him. They're not ready for him. They're not ready for J.D. McKissick. We're surprised. I think we're going to jump out fast, like we always do. We always jump out fast on the Eagles. I think it might be like 10-0 or something like that. It's gonna be a fast start. Watch, I'm telling you. Chris Carter, thank you for the donation. That's my guy. He said, "Go Washington football team." I might have to give my man Chris Carter a wrench too. I don't know if I gave him a wrench. I'm gonna add. Yeah, he's a mod now. He's a mod now. So I just added him. I just added him. I just added you. I just gave you a wrench, Chris. Thank you for the donation, man. Go Washington football team. Yes, sir. I need to get some gear. I'm gonna buy some gear. I am. I'll probably get a couple of gear. Diesel the Hall, that's my guy on Twitter, man. We always talk on Twitter. Never a dull moment with my guy. Always supporting the channel, man. Shout out to Diesel the Hall. He said, "Hell to the Washingtons." App Key is going to have a pick on Carson Wentz. Washington wins 28-10. I love that prediction. That's a bullish prediction. I love it, 28-10. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be an ugly game. I think it's going to be around the 20s, maybe 24-20. 24-21 is not ugly, but I feel like, guys are going to be rusty. Carson Wentz is going to be rusty. He's always rusty in that first game, always. The last few years we played against the Eagles, we always jump out to a good lead over the Eagles. I think it's going to happen again. We just have to finish this game. We have to finish this game. I think we're going to jump out and smack him in the mouth. We're going to smack him in the mouth. We're going to punch him in the mouth. Like Mike Tyson says, your game plan goes out the window. You don't have a game plan for getting smacked in the mouth. And that's what we're going to do to the Eagles. We're going to smack them right in the mouth, punch them right in the mouth. They're not going to know how to respond. And we got to put their foot on the necks. The last few years, we smacked them in the mouth, punched them in the mouth, 17-0 lead, 14-10 lead at the half. And, we get out coached. And I doubt Ron Rivera is going to let that happen. I highly doubt Jack Del Rio is going to let that happen. So we just got to smack him in the mouth, man, and finish it. Put our foot on the neck, smell blood. We smell blood. Go for the kill. Go for the kill, man. Go for the kill. No more letting D-Jacks running free, running wild, like a wild man. Going crazy. None of that, man. Getting back to Carson Wentz, hitting him. No more collapse in the pocket and then let him run for 10 yards and whatnot, So none of that can happen anymore. We're not letting that happen. Not with Jack Del Rio. We got Chase Young now and them boys, the Bama boys, Matt Ioannidis. We got a rotation, Ryan Kerrigan. We should be wreaking havoc on Carson Wentz. We should make this a long day for him and that offensive line. Alexander Wilson, thank you for the donation again. Once again, my guy, he's been lit. He's been lit all stream. My man Alexander Wilson, he's been lit. Like I said, you should become a channel member. You really should. He says, "Man, my dad, high school coach was Coach Thompson. Rest in peace to John Thompson. I don't have my Georgetown hat on, but rest in peace to Coach Thompson. Yes, he did coach at St. Anthony's. I do, and I actually went to middle school. I went to St. Mark's Middle School. We played against St. Anthony's twice a year. They were in our division. They were in our conference. I actually played pretty well against them. Every time we played St. Anthony's, we would beat up on St. Anthony's, the middle school. We didn't play against the high school, but I think St. Anthony's was like kindergarten through 12th, if I'm not mistaken, in DC. If people don't know what St. Anthony is, it's a private school in DC. I think it was kindergarten through 12th grade, if I'm not mistaken, or high school. Yeah, it was kindergarten through 12th grade. So yeah, I used to play against them. They had the golden jerseys. I remember St. Anthony's for real. We used to beat them. I think we swept them when I was in 8th grade. And Coach Thompson coached St. Anthony, man. Alexander he said, "I got some stories to tell." Bill Walton dropped 48 on his college team. Yeah. Hey, like I said, when you become an elite channel member, man, you could definitely come on here. Like I said, Skins Bay, man, he talks all the time about the old stories, man. He talks all the time. I love hearing about the old stories. I really do. I love hearing about the 90s basketball, 80s basketball, 90s football, 80s football, stuff that I didn't really get to witness in person or on television. I love hearing about it, honestly. I really do. I love hearing those old stories about sports, honestly. I really do. Yes, Shamar. Yes, I play basketball. If you look at my profile, then you can see I got if you look on the home page, those are my basketball highlights. If you look on the home page, I played college basketball, played middle school, high school, all that. So if you check that out, those are my highlights right there. I got some old highlights. If you see me in person, you'll be like, "Oh yeah, he played basketball," because you'll see how tall I am. I'm not the tallest guy in the world, but yeah. LC said it is 6'6". Yeah, he played basketball. Uh, Dylan Gamons, thank you for the donation. He said, "Love your work. You got fans also type." That's big time, man. That's big time, man. That I got some subscribers out of the country too, man. It's a humbling experience, man. YouTube, man. I never thought I would get to where I am today with YouTube. I really did not. I did not think I would get this far when I started, but this is kind of blown up, man. I got people down in Texas. Shout out to you down in Austin, Texas, man. I wouldn't mind moving down to Texas. I heard it's really nice. The weather's really good down there. I wouldn't mind moving down to Texas and talk trash and wear my Washington football gear all over the place down in Texas, man. Shout out to you, man. I know it's hard being a fan down there. I heard it's actually because unfortunately there's a lot of Cowgirls fans in DC in the DC DMV area, but I heard there's a lot of Washington. I heard there's a lot of Washington football fans down in Texas. I heard about that. So you keep doing your thing, man. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to Dylan, man, for real. And but yeah, down in Austin, Texas, man. Keep doing your thing. When we beat the Cowboys, definitely talk your trash down there. Definitely talk your trash. But yeah, I am about to get off here. Oscar Josue Montel, thank you for the donation once again. Everybody, you guys have been great, man. I'm happy. This is week one, man. It's getting real, man. This is real. We're actually gonna have football. We weren't supposed to have a season, man. We were not supposed to have a season. The virus, we were not supposed to have the season. And we are going to have a football season. Did not have preseason, but I'll take it. I'd rather just have football than no preseason. I'll take that every year, honestly. I really would. But hey, Moby said, I remember we had 80 subs. Hey, man, like I said, the grind is real. The grind is real. Nicholas Bouvier said, I've been following you for almost 2 years now, watching all your videos. Hail from upstate New York. Shout out to you, upstate New York, man. For real. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for supporting the channel, man. It's been a long way. But yeah, yes, sir. Chris Carter, let's go Washington, man. Hey, I got us getting this W. I did not say my prediction, and I did not say, actually, I mean, you guys already know I think we're going to win this game. I did not say the score prediction yet. I did not see the keys to victory. I did not say the things that I think we need to do to win this game. So I am saving that for Friday. I'm going to release that video on Friday. So stay tuned on that. Stay tuned for that. All right, y'all. Hail to the Washington football team. We are going to get to wheelchair Wentz. We are going to sack him. Jason Peters is going to be a turntable against this defensive line. It's going to be lit. All right, y'all. Hail to the football team.